my whole entire house is a literal mess. Like a literal, like, I don't even know. It just looks like a hurricane blew through my house. It is so cluttered and just absolutely horrendous. Like, if y'all could see my house, you'd be like, sis, are you okay? And the answer would be no, I'm not okay. And you know, that's fine. We're getting it under control. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Elle.K here for another video, and today we are going through my 2022 TBR. Now, this is not my full 2022 TBR. I will probably go through the other half of the books when or if I give you guys a tour of my reading journal. If I do that, I don't know if I'm going to do that. This is just 10 out of the 22 books because I really didn't want to sit here and film all 22 books that I want to read. And I'm not even 100% sure if that's like my solid, yes, these are the 22 books that I want to read. So I just went with the for sure 10 that I know I want to read. And also just for length's sake, I figured we'll just do 10. And then maybe if I get through these 10 in the first half of the year, I'll share with you the other ones. So that's what we're doing today. If you're interested in seeing my 2022, I can't believe it's 2022. If you're interested in seeing my 2022 TBR, keep on watching. But yeah, so we're gonna go through these. I'm gonna start with the ones that have literally been on my TBR for probably years, because those are the ones that I want to read right away. So of course they're at the bottom of the pile. So actually the first one that I want to read is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. This has been a series that's been on my radar for a while, and I find it funny to say that because I actually don't know what the series is about. I know that there's werewolves, there's fairies, there's a huntress, and it all just sounds really, really cool. Everybody loves this series. Fun fact, this is actually the old cover of the series. They redid it because it's not... So it originally came out as like a YA series, and now it's an adult fantasy series. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what miscommunication happened. I don't know if there's like a lot of R-rated content, but yeah, it's now an adult series, which, okay, cool. So if I do like it, I will go ahead and purchase the newer covers of the books, but I figured I would read this one first before I decide that I'm going to just go and purchase an entire series that I haven't read yet, all in hardcover. That's gonna be expensive, so we're gonna wait. But this is the first one. The second and third one, I'm actually very, very embarrassed to say, but the second one is Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas, and this is following, so she's the author of The Hate You Give, and this is following Star's father in The Hate You Give, Maverick. It's kind of his story and like his childhood growing up, and kind of just, he did go to prison for a couple years. That's not a spoiler because they tell you that within like the first chapter of The Hate You Give, but so it's just kind of outlining his life. And I love Angie Thomas so much, and I'm so annoyed with myself that I have not read the rest of her books yet. I'm literally like, what is wrong with me? But yeah, so this one is definitely one that I want to read this month, so I'm gonna get that one done. And then also along with that is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. Obviously this is following, I think her name is Bree. Yeah, Bree, who would like to, she's an aspiring rapper. Her dad was about to have like this major breakthrough as his underground rapper, but then I believe he gets shot or he dies somehow. I'm pretty sure he dies. So now she's kind of left trying to provide for her family. She makes a lot of very, very poor decisions along the way, and I'm so pumped for this. Apparently, there's a lot of lyrics for Bree's raps in the book, and they're just absolutely amazing, and it doesn't shock me at all because Angie Thomas is a phenomenal writer. So yeah, definitely going to get to this one. I love that you can see half of my dirty laundry, but it's okay. You know what? I don't care. It's fine. This is real and raw, and we're just getting the job done. The next one that I have has also been on my TBR for a while, and that is Sawkill Girls. It's actually this thriller. It's not a horror, it's definitely more of a thriller mystery, and it's about these girls, you're following three main girls, one of which just moved to like this kind of secluded island slash town, and girls just start dying or disappearing. They start to disappear. I think that they are dead, I'm not sure, but that's what I think. And we're kind of following our main character, who I believe is, Marion, I want to say Marion, but that's not correct. It's Marion, who has just moved to the town and she's going to work to try and figure out where all these girls are going. It really doesn't sound like anything groundbreaking, but I've seen a couple of reviews for it and a lot of people really rave about it and really like it. So I do want to read this one. I don't know if I'm going to read it right now or save it for October. I'm probably going to read it sooner than October because every time I save mystery, thriller, horror-esque books for October, I never read them in October. So I'm probably just going to read them now. And then the next one that I have is actually a classic, my classic for the year that I want to read. I want to obviously try and read more classics for the year, but the classic for this year that I really want to read is Dracula. I shared this season's edition with you in one of my hauls last year and I just absolutely love it. I love the red sprayed edges. I think it's so beautiful. I think I'm going to, like I said, more than likely read this one before October, even though it is a literal classic horror. But I figure if I read this one before October, then I can make way for maybe Frankenstein or The Haunting of Hill House in October, which I was actually supposed to read last year. And the next one that I'm going to read is Homebody. Oh my gosh. Ah! I love this book, but it's not a felt cover. It's some sort of like fabric cover. And dog and cat hair, just love it. And I have many an animal in my house, so it is what it is. But it's Homebody by Rupi Kaur. I did not like Milk and Honey, but everybody loves Homebody, and I work in a bookstore and I have no self-control, so I picked up Homebody last year and I'm going to try and get to it this year. Probably, again, one of my sooner rather than later reads because it's just a poetry book, so it's not going to take me very long. So yeah, I'm going to try and get to this one relatively soon. And then the next one that I have on here was actually just kind of a spur of the moment purchase, again, because I work in a bookstore and have no self-control, and that is Velvet Was the Night. Honestly, it was the cover that attracted me to this book. I'm vain and I like pretty things, so I grabbed it because it was a pretty cover. Like, it's beautiful. I need to get that sticker off of it. Okay, so this actually takes place in 1970s Mexico City, and we're following, what is her name? Métis, who is just kind of like this really fun-loving fashionista who is really heavily into romance, and her next door neighbor Lenora just seems to, she's a student and just seems to live like this really intriguing, adventurous life until one day she goes missing, and Métis is going, I feel like I'm not pronouncing her name correctly at all, so please tell me how to pronounce her name in the comments if you know. Our main character is going to kind of investigate what happened to her neighbor, and while she's looking, she discovers that somebody else is also looking for her neighbor, but that person may not have the best intentions once they find her. So this just sounds really cool. I love the setting, and if you look in her glasses, you can see, I don't know if you can see it or not, but there is a silhouette of a person standing there with a knife. So this looks really good. It's giving me, I thought it was going to be a thriller, it might be a horror, or maybe somewhere in between. And I'm a chick and I'm not into either one of those genres, but I don't know, I've just been feeling a little bit more adventurous with my reading, so I'm going to definitely get to this one this year. I'm very excited about it, and it's really not that long, and you know, we all know, if you know, you know, I do not like long books. This one is this is not even 300 pages, it's 281 pages, so I honestly don't even have an excuse, oops, just kicked my camera. I don't even have an excuse to not get to it sooner rather than later. So there we go. We're down to the last three, guys. We're getting there. The next one that I have is Who Put This Song On by, Velvet Was the Night is by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. And Who Put This Song On is by Morgan Parker. I still have the receipt in here for some reason. But okay, first of all, take a second to admire the cover. It's beautiful. I love the color scheme that they chose for this cover. The pink with her outfit is just really pretty. Okay, so this one is a contemporary. We all know that's my genre. And we're following our main character, Morgan, who lives, where does she live? She lives in like a suburban town. And as such, she is one of the very few non-white people in the town, and she's just, as she gets older, she's really kind of feeling as she gets older, she's more so feeling the difference in the rift between her and those of her white counterparts. She kind of gets made fun of. They tell her that she's not really black and that she's got weird outfits, her hair is funny, stuff like that. So, and she kind of just feels like she has the same song on repeat almost, and I totally vibe with that. So she's just kind of wondering how she can get out of this rut. And that's all you really get from the synopsis, which I think sounds great and sounds very relatable. So I am very excited for this one. The next book that I have is a historical fiction, and that is Salt to the Sea by Rita Sepetys. It's a World War II historical fiction, and it's about... Honestly, you don't really get that much. I'll literally read the back because it's not even a full paragraph. So it says, the forgotten tragedy... Woo! Hello. Fully moved my whole setup there. That's fine. The forgotten tragedy that was 6 times deadlier than the Titanic. Winter 1945. 4 refugees, 4 secrets. Each one born of a different homeland. Each one hunted and haunted by tragedy, lies, and war. As thousands desperately flocked to the coast in the midst of the Soviet advance for path coverage, vying for passage aboard the William Gustloff. I don't know if I said that right. A ship that promises safety and freedom, but not all promises can be kept. That's literally all it tells you. This is going to be absolutely heartbreaking, and I know that. And the reason I haven't read it yet is because I have to be in the mood to read it, and it's just, oh, I know it's going to break my heart, but I also really do like historical fiction. And you know what? Like the font, like the way it's written, it doesn't like, it's pretty spaced out. The font is pretty big, so I feel like it wouldn't take too long, but it's just one of those books that I know is going to hurt to read. That totally threw off my white balance. It's fine. The last book that I have on this TBR is Ace of Spades, and it's by this author whose name I literally can't pronounce, and I don't want to butcher it, so I apologize. But this is following 2 main characters. Both are black, both go to a private school that is not predominantly black, so they have that to contend with already on their own, but they both get selected to be part of this very elite group that looks great on their college applications and just kind of sets them up for academic success. But what happens is somebody that goes by the name Aces starts texting out secret information about both of them that can really turn their lives upside down and jeopardize all their academic accomplishments. So they need to work together to try and clear their name and find out who is releasing all this information. That sounds hella dope. I also went to a private school, and private school is great. It can also be very petty. So I am literally so excited to read this one, and I've had it for a while, so I definitely need to get on that. But that is my 2022 TBR, guys. Like I said, it's not my full 2022 TBR, but these are the ones that I for sure know that I want to read this year. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe before you go. If you made it this far in the video, you know you're an MVP. Why don't you go ahead and leave a red heart emoji just so I know that you got to the end and that you're one of the MVPs. So yeah, with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.